Have you ever wondered how Nier caught Light and avoided his biggest trap? If you don't have the answer, you're not alone. Death Note is a complicated anime, and it can be hard to understand, especially if it's your first anime. But don't worry, I'm here to explain everything to you in a simple way. Just sit, relax, and let's begin our story. Story begins in the Shinigami realm, a place where death gods, or Shinigami, live. One of these Shinigami, named Ryuk, is super bored. He's tired of the same old routine of writing human names in his death note to extend his own life. So, he decides to spice things up. Ryuk steals another Shinigami's death note named Seto and drops it into the human world, just for kicks. On November 28th, a brilliant high school student named Light Yagami is in class when he notices something falling from the sky. Curious, he checks it out and finds a mysterious black notebook on the ground. It's the death note. The rules inside say that if you write someone's name in it, they will die. Ryuk then tricks the king of Shinigami to get a second death note. Light is skeptical at first, but he takes it home to test it out. Light decides to write the name of a criminal he saw on the news. To his shock, the criminal died of a heart attack shortly after. Still not convinced, he tries it again with another criminal. Same result. Instead of being horrified, Light is thrilled. He sees this as an opportunity to rid the world of evil and create a utopia with him as its god. A few days later, on December 3rd, Light gets a visit from Ryuk. At first, Light is startled by the appearance of the Shinigami, but he quickly calms down. Ryuk explains the Death Note's rules and tells Light that when his time comes, Ryuk will write Light's name in his own Death Note, and when he die, he won't go to heaven or hell. He will go to Shinigami World, also known as Land of Deads. Light isn't fazed. He's already obsessed with his new mission. He mostly kills people by heart attack. The media soon starts calling this mysterious killer Kira, which is derived from the Japanese pronunciation of killer. Meanwhile, the authorities are freaking out over the sudden spike in mysterious deaths. They enlist the help of the world's best detective, known only as L. To draw Kira out, L conducts a live broadcast with a decoy named Lind L. Taylor. Claiming to be L. Light, seeing this as a challenge, quickly writes Taylor's name in the death note. A Taylor dies on live TV, but it turns out to be a trap. The real L reveals himself and announces that Kira is in the Kanto region of Japan. L now knows Kira needs a name and a face to kill. The battle of minds begins. L also announces that Kira is a high school student due to his killing pattern. Light father is a police officer. He is hacking his father's computer to get sensitive information about the case. L, being the genius he is, comes to know that Kira has access to police information. He sends FBI agents to investigate Japanese police members. Ryuk then offers Shinigami Eye to Light in exchange of half of his life. Light refuses this offer. One of these agents, Ray Penber, ends up chasing Light. Light quickly figures this out and comes up with a cunning plan. He plans a bus hijacking using the Death Note, the same bus on which Ray is traveling. Light tells the agent that he will kill the hijacker. The agent tells him that he will do it instead, and he shows him his FBI ID. Light then gives a piece of the Death Note to the hijacker. When the hijacker touches that paper, he sees a Shinigami in front of his eyes. He gets panicked and, out of fear, jumps from the bus and gets killed in a car accident, just as Light wrote. Light then blackmails Penber into writing down the names of all the FBI agents working on the Kira case. Once Light has the names, he kills them all, including Penber. This act eliminates the immediate threat and makes it even harder for L to track him. Japanese task force, initially large, decreased as members quit out of fear. Only a few remain: Soichiro Yagami, Light's father, Matsuda, Ukita, Aizawa, and Mogi. L reveals himself to this small group and continues his hunt for Kira. Penber's fiancée, Naomi Masora, a former FBI agent, isn't willing to let his death go unanswered. She starts her investigation and almost uncovers Light's identity as Kira. She comes across the information that Ray revealed his identity to Light on the bus before his death. Light, realizing the threat she poses, uses his father's status to trick her into revealing her real name. He writes her name in the death note, causing her to commit suicide in such a way that her body won't be found. When Light gets home, he senses that someone is watching him. He bribes Ryuk with apples to find hidden cameras. After finding out about the hidden traps, he uses a bag of chips to hide his mini-TV and continues killing criminals. After getting no proof, L removes the cameras from Light's room. Next, we meet Misa Amane, a popular model with a tragic past. Her parents were murdered, and Kira avenged them by killing the culprit. Misa becomes a passionate Kira supporter. One day, a stalker holding a knife approaches Misa and confesses his love to her. Of course, she's going to reject him, and she does. The stalker kills her by stabbing her with a knife. A Shinigami named Jealous writes the stalker's name in his death note. Jealous, extend her life instead of shortening it, so he dies and turns into ashes. When a Shinigami dies, their death note is left behind. Another Shinigami, Rem, who witnessed Jealous' death, takes Jealous' death note and gives it to Misa. Misa makes the Shinigami eyes by trading half her lifespan to gain the ability to see people's names and lifespans just by looking at them so that she can find Kira and thank him. At the university, Light becomes topper with one other student, and that other student is none other than legendary LL uses a famous pop star's name in the entrance exam. L approached Light and told him that he is L. Light knows he is in trouble now, because if he writes the pop star's name and the real pop star dies, it creates suspicion towards him. If he forces L to tell his real name, then he also creates suspicion. They both plays a tennis match. Light wins, but L tells Light that he suspects Light of being Kira. Light got shocked. Then L invites him to join the task force. Light accepts it, seeing it as a chance to get closer to L and discover his real name. Sakura TV, a news network, plays tapes sent by Second Kira. These tapes threaten the police to stop chasing Kira, otherwise they will be killed. The Second Kira demands the police hand over the director of the Kira investigation, or L himself. The Second Kira gives her 4 days to make a decision. To stop this broadcast, a member of Task Force Hirokazu rushes to stop it but is killed by the Second Kira. Everyone is shocked because the new Kira needs only a face instead of a name to kill someone. While playing chess, L tells Light to do a video broadcast to get the Second Kira out of hiding. The video broadcast includes Death Note, Shinigami, and a place where both of them can meet. Light heads to the place to meet the Second Kira, but the Second Kira doesn't reveal themselves. The Second Kira uses their Shinigami eyes to find the true Kira, and succeeds. The Second Kira finds Light's address and goes to his home. She reveals herself as Misa Amane. She likes Kira so much that she tells him she wants to be his girlfriend and will not mind if he uses her for his gain. Light decides that he will kill her after she becomes useless. But her Shinigami, Rem, threatens Light that she will kill him if he tries to harm Misa. The Light uses Misa to convince Rem to kill L. Rem agrees, but things take a turn when L gets enough evidence that Misa is the Second Kira. Misa's hair fibers are found on the tape that was used to seal the envelope of tapes sent to Sakura TV. Misa gets arrested, and if Rem kills L now, all attention goes to Light. Misa gives her Death Note ownership to Light. Misa's memory about the Death Note is erased, along with Light's secrets. Light swaps notebooks with the Shinigami. Rem owns Light's Death Note, and Ryuk owns Misa's Death Note. Then, Light adds 2 new rules to the Death Note. The first rule is that when the notebook is destroyed, anyone who touches it will immediately die, and if they don't write a name in 13 consecutive days, they will die. Light buries his notebook. Light tells Rem to give his notebook to a greedy person who will use it to achieve wealth and higher status. Light then detains himself to prove that he is not Kira. Now, Light transfers his ownership, resulting in wiping out all memories related to the Death Note. Criminals once more start dying while Misa and Light are in custody. After this, the police freed Light and Misa from custody. Rem gives Death Note to a corrupt businessman named Kyosuke Higuchi. Higuchi becomes the new Kira, and the killings resume. L discovers that the new Kira is part of the Yotsuba group, a powerful business conglomerate. Light, now released, rejoins the task force to catch this new Kira. Light discovers that Kira belongs to the Yotsuba group because the killings lead to Yotsuba's growth. Misa uses her charm to get close to Higuchi. She records Higuchi claiming to be Kira, while the task force sets a trap to capture him. They finally catch Higuchi and reclaim the Death Note. Light touches the Death Note and his memories come rushing back. Light hid a piece of the Death Note in his watch. He quickly writes Higuchi's name in the notebook, killing him and reclaiming his position as the original Kira. Light orders Misa to dig up her Death Note, leading her to regain all her memories. The Light then tells Misa, start her killing again, which of course draw L attention. With Misa in danger, Rem is forced to kill L to protect Misa. Rem, lengthening Misa's life instead of shortening it, fades away like the previous Shinigami who saved Misa. With L out of the picture, Light takes over the investigation, effectively becoming both Kira and L's butler. Watari runs orphanages across the world, where orphans are trained to become world-class detectives. Two of L's protégés, Nier and Mello, are determined to defeat Kira. 5 years have passed, and Kira is still at large, with the world now worshipping him. In the background, Nier works with the special provision for capturing Kira, while Mello allies with a mafia group. Nier is a calm and collected genius, much like L, and he gathers a team of FBI agents to piece together the puzzle. Mello, on the other hand, is more aggressive and reckless, using the mafia to get what he wants and willing to go to any lengths to catch Kira. Mello discovers that the Japanese police have the Death Note, and with the help of the mafia, he kidnaps Kenichi Takimaru, head of the Japanese National Police Agency. Nier sends American agents to Japan to retrieve the Death Note from the Japanese police. Light, wanting to get rid of the mafia, kills Takimaru, so the mafia no longer has leverage to demand the notebook. The mafia then kidnaps Light's younger sister to pressure the authorities. To save his sister and with no other options, the National Police Agency agrees to the mafia's demands, and Light's sister is saved in exchange for the notebook. A Shinigami named Sido, the real owner of the Death Note, comes to the human world to get it back. Sido finds his notebook in Mello's possession, and Mello tells him to help retrieve it. Light uses Misa to send a message to the National Police Agency as Kira. To get the other notebook from the mafia, Kira transfers ownership to a member of the Kira investigation force. Light's father, Soichiro Yagami, takes the notebook and makes the Shinigami Eyes deal. The police raid the mafia base, killing most of its members and regaining the Death Note. Soichiro finds out Mello's real name, using his Shinigami Eyes, and gives him a chance to surrender. Mello refuses, and during the confrontation, Soichiro is mortally wounded. During his last moments, Light tells him to write Mello's name, but Soichiro dies before he can, believing his son is innocent. Sido takes his notebook back to the Shinigami world. The President of the United States announces they will no longer fight Kira, disbanding the SPK. Mello and Nier, despite being enemies, agree to share information about Kira. Nier is almost convinced that Light is the real Kira. Nier asks a task force member if Light was ever suspected of being Kira, which makes Aizawa suspicious of Light. Desperate to kill Nier, Kira orders his followers to attack the SPK building. Nier escapes by showering the attackers with money. Aizawa and another task force member, Mogi, searched Light's apartment at the request of Nier. Light, knowing this would happen, so he already transferred Misa Death Note ownership to Teru Mikami, a devoted Kira follower. This makes Misa lose her memories of being Kira. Mikami continues killing criminals, while Misa genuinely denies any relation to Kira. Mikami kills the Sakura TV director for his greed. Mikami chooses Takada, Light's ex-girlfriend, as the new Kira spokesperson. She is Light ex-girlfriend, so police decide to use her to gather more information about Kira. But Light has other plans and uses her to communicate with the new Kira. Nier comes to Japan to get closer to Kira. He pinpoints Mikami as the new Kira because of Mikami's frequent TV appearances, seeing Light as the ex-Kira. Nier uses an agent to confirm that Mikami is the new Kira, after witnessing him write down someone's name and watching them die. Aizawa becomes more suspicious of Light. After some investigation, Aizawa discovers that Light and his ex-girlfriend are secretly exchanging notes during meetings. Aizawa informs Nier, who tells him to keep an eye on Light. Light realizes something is wrong and makes a new plan. He tells Mikami to use a fake notebook and later sends names and faces to Kiyomi Takada to write down real names. Misa and her manager, Mogi, brings to Nier's headquarters in Japan. Mogi believes Light to be Kira after some serious conversation with Aizawa. Light calls Nier to report Misa and Mogi's absence, only to reveal they came willingly. Nier's agent falls into Light's trap, opens Mikami's suitcase, and takes pictures of Mikami's notebook and handwriting. Nier arranges a meeting with the task force at a warehouse. Light saw this coming, but he never thought about the Mello plan. Mello kidnaps Kiyomi and takes her to a truck trailer. He orders her to remove her clothes to ensure there are no tracking devices. Kiyomi has a piece of the death note hidden in her bra and writes Mello's name, killing him as he drives. After they crash into a church, Kiyomi calls Light and explains everything. She then calls Mikami to give her names to write down on the death note piece. Mikami realizes she is in trouble and goes to the bank to retrieve his real death note, to kill Kiyomi and destroy Light's tracks and evidence. However, Light writes Kiyomi's name in the death note, setting her on fire with the church to destroy any evidence. Nier's agent, Giovanni, sees Mikami write Kiyomi's name in the real notebook, confirming the one Mikami carries is fake, so he swapped the real notebook with the fake one. 2 days later, the meeting takes place at the warehouse. With the task force and Nier's crew present, Mikami peers through the doorway and writes down everyone's names, except Light's. Light celebrates prematurely, revealing his Kira identity. But since Mikami has a fake notebook, no one dies. Light tries to blame Nier for setting things up, but no one believes him. Light then pulls out a piece of the death note from his watch to write everyone's names, but Matsuda shoots him, injuring him. Mikami kills himself by stabbing a pen into his neck. Light runs off, bleeding, and collapses on a staircase. Ryuk, sitting above, writes Light's name in his death note. Light dies from a heart attack, unable to go to heaven or hell because he was a death note owner. Kira is finally dead. And that's it. I tried my best to make it easy for you, and I hope you understood everything. This video took a lot of effort, so if you want to support us, leave a like. Thanks for watching. Take care.